And Ernie, the referees admitted they should have called an offensive foul on Dion Waiters as he put the forearm into the chest of Manu Ginobili. What could the potential fallout be from that missed call?
Well, it's a 1-1 series, and again, Mags, here's the deal. You always put the spotlight on a play at the end of a game, but I thought Manu Ginobili was very diplomatic and very accurate last night when he said, "Look, that play didn't cost us the game." I thought Oklahoma City deserved to win the game. I think they outplayed San Antonio last night, and I think they. Even though it got real close at the end, I mean, they had a 1-point lead going to the fourth quarter. They never surrendered the lead in the fourth, which has been their biggest problem, and they held on and won the game. Sure, you're going to look at that play and say something should have been called, but it happens, and bottom line is the series is tied up at a game apiece. But I'll tell you this, and I know the league has got to be, tired of seeing it too and I know they're being transparent, and I know they want to come out and say, look, we missed a call. But, man, when you're in these playoff games and more you're seeing, hey, there were 5 missed calls in the last 2 minutes of the Houston Golden State game. Hey, we should have called a foul on DeMar DeRozan for knocking Jan Mahinmi out of the way the other day in a Game 7. Hey, we should have called something here. I mean, transparency is one thing, but I think there's got to be a little bit of saying, come on, guys, buckle it down. We got to get all these right. At first glance.
Absolutely. And Ernie, it just leaves, coaches like Greg Popovich, the fans, we're just all shaking our heads because what can anyone do after the fact? Is there something that the NBA can do to try to ensure that these calls get made?
No, I mean, look, this is I'm a big fan of the officials in the NBA, and I realize this is a tough sport to officiate. Guys are bigger and stronger and faster than they ever have been, and so you're seeing a lot of things. And again, if you look at that last play last night, I mean, you're going to look at somebody grabbing a jersey. You're going to look at somebody stepping on the line on an inbound. You're going to look at somebody throwing a forearm. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I know here's the deal. It just kind of leaves you with a hollow feeling, I think, if you're San Antonio, if they say, hey, look, we should have called that foul. You guys should be inbounding right now. But they still had a chance. They had the ball and couldn't execute, in the last, 12 seconds, 10 seconds of that game. But, yeah, I mean, it's a tough game to officiate. But, man, when it comes down to a playoff game and it comes down to a call that should or should not have been made, it leaves you with nothing. It just kind of, okay, should I feel better now that you say something should have been done? You certainly can't go back and be replaying, 8 seconds of a game all over the place and say, hey, hold on, we still don't know who's leading the series. It's just it's one of the offshoots of the human element of the game, I reckon. But again, the coming out and saying that there was a mistake and not being able to rectify it, that's what leaves you kind of with that empty feeling.
Oh, absolutely. And, we're all just wondering what can be done. Absolutely nothing. It still baffles me why Greg Popovich did not call a timeout once San Antonio stole the ball away from Oklahoma City. But, Ernie, we have to move on.
Sometimes, Mags, I mean, you got a 3-on-1. You got numbers right there, and you've got a veteran team. You kind of trust that, these guys are going to put the ball in the basket somehow. We're going to get a good shot at it. So I think that's your reasoning on no timeout. But go ahead. Yeah. I digress.
No. Do the Thunder now have the momentum in this series?
Nah, nobody's got the momentum right now. I think they've, the series has certainly started in earnest now when it's 1-1 and you've won a game in the other guy's gym. But San Antonio is such a good team. And San Antonio knows, look, we're never going to rely on our home court to advance in the playoffs and say, if we just win our home games. You got to win on the road in this league. So, a tip of the cap to OKC, because when you get blown out like they did in Game 1, to come back and win in their place where they'd lost one game all year, that was impressive, despite the fact that they had a few shaky moments down the stretch. But, hey, they tied the series, and now let's see if San Antonio can go to OKC and win one. They've certainly shown all indications this year that they are capable of doing that.